Hey, what's up, shitheads? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be doing a range test on the brand new Wired Freedom here. I'm going to be doing a real-world range test. Well, that's kind of hard to say. And I'm going to give you, what you could generally expect on this. Most of the terrain I'll be traversing today is going to be flat. I'm not going to be doing too many hills, let me just give you a little rundown of how the bike's set up. This is a pretty much 100% stock, brand new Wired Freedom. I do have Tannus tire inserts. And I have the tires inflated to 18 PSI. Other than that, I'm going to be riding in pedal assist level 3, and I use the throttle as needed. So I figure I'm just going to be riding how I normally ride and see how many miles I get. I haven't really ridden much this year because it's winter and it's been raining and it's been cold. So I haven't put on as many miles as I've wanted to on this bike. As of now, I still have under 100 miles. Truth be told, guys, I'm not really feeling in the mood to ride potentially 40 miles right now. So go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do these things for you. Anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on the bike and get started. And we're off. You know, one thing I do notice on this bike, once I pull it off the charger, it'll read about 67.5 volts. And if you let it sit for a little bit, it'll sag down to 67.2. But the Cruiser will sag down to about 66.9. So I don't know if that's just because it's a brand new battery or what, but I thought that was interesting that this thing reads a higher voltage upon a full charge. I've mentioned in the past that riding a bike is a mood enhancer, and we're going to put that theory to the test today because as of now, I'm not exactly feeling in the mood to ride potentially 40 miles, but we're going to see. Oh, look at this. I live right by the Delta here, and sometimes you'll have these big boats coming through here because this is a main shipping channel. It's kind of interesting. You'll look down and it looks like a big floating building's going by because these boats are huge. I don't know if you guys can see that. I like big boats, guys, and I cannot lie. You know, all you other brothers can't deny. All right, who had big boat on the Shoot the Chip bingo card? Let's go ahead and get back on the right side of the road. You know, I got the Cruiser, and September 1st I had the Cruiser, so I was blessed with a lot of nice riding weather. And I got this bike. I've had this bike for about 3 weeks maybe. And since then, it's been cold. It's January. It's been raining a lot. And if you can see right there, there's a lot of mud. And I'm in a little different situation than some of you people. I avoid mud like the plague because I store my bike in my living room and it's on carpet. And the last thing I'm going to do is track this bike into the house and get mud all over the place. So I don't ride in mud. If I had a garage, you know, it'd be one thing if I could just pull it right into the garage and hose it off or whatever, but no, I have to store it in my living room. So no mud for me. And honestly, I'm just not a fan of riding in the rain. I mean, I would if I have to, but let's face it, guys, I don't have to. So I had a good stretch of riding my bike to the gym every day since September 1st when I got my Cruiser. I had a stretch of all the way up till mid to the end of December. I didn't have to drive my car to the gym one single day. So that streak has since been broken. And since I've gotten this bike, if you could see in my last couple of videos, I had some sort of sickness. It wasn't the Rona, but whatever I had, man, it stuck with me for a while. It took me out for a good week. The couple of days after those last couple of videos, I had to use a couple of sick days, and I just laid in bed all day. And even after that, it was whatever I had just attacked my lungs. So I was wheezing, and my lung capacity was down quite a bit. And it's even funny when I was editing those videos, I could tell I was getting out of breath. This is another fun fact. You know, when you become ascend the ladder of YouTube like I do, you start to realize, man, if you ever want to hear how stupid you sound when you talk, go ahead and record yourself and then edit the videos, because you'll realize every obnoxious speech pattern that you have. So whether it's saying or smacking your lips, whatever it is, guys. So what I've learned from editing myself is I have a terrible vocabulary. I need to expand the vocabulary, my vernacular, as you will. But I do watch some other YouTubers, and I can appreciate that, man, these people have these huge, long one takes, and it's like, man, these are just there's some well-spoken guys out there. I think there was a point to all that, but at this point, I'm not sure. My last video, somebody left a comment saying they liked it better when I was unrestricted and riding through the bad neighborhoods. Well, you're in luck, guys, because I am back home in Antioch, California, aka the ghetto. This is a nice blue-collar town when I was growing up, and now it's a bedroom community where most people commute to and from San Francisco or the Bay Area in some form or another. And this town has been drastically changed in the last 20 years and has now suffered from quite a bit of growing pains, and we have big city problems now. And one of those big city problems is something I'd like to highlight here coming up, and we're going to play a fun little game called Let's Count How Many RVs and Trailers We See. For whatever reason, the city lets every homeless person in the area come park their RV. 1, just 2 here, but 3. This is where you absolutely do not want to stop and ask for directions. 4.
Number of the day is 4.
5. 6. 7. 8. That guy has a boat. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 with a boat, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. So who had 35 as their guess? Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut to a time lapse for a bit, get some more miles, and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Quick little detour here. I just wanted to show you this sign. Illegal dumping is a crime. I mean, isn't that kind of implied by the term illegal dumping? I don't know. Is it just me, guys, or is that kind of just a dumb sign? Fellow e-bikers, friends, we're friends. They're on Eventons. What's that sign there? It says no bikes. That's right, guys. We're unrestricted today. No bikes. Nobody tells us what to do. We're rebels. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't want bikes on this trail right here, to tell you the truth. Look at this single track. Unrestricted. This is making good use of that full suspension the Freedom has, that's for sure. This is one of the most annoying things I found on this bike. And if you can hear that banging around, that is the front headlight on this bike refuses to stay tight. And it'll start dangling around. And look at it. That was the front headlight bouncing against the front fender. I don't know what it is with that mount. I try and get that thing as tight as possible. I go for a ride and then it's like flopped all over the place. I don't even, look guys, I'm trying to have a good day. I don't want to think about the headlight anymore. So I'll catch back up with you in a little bit. As of right now, we're at 6.8 miles. All right, check-in time, guys. We are at 10 miles exactly right now. Resting voltage on the battery is around 62, almost 63. So we are making pretty good progress so far. One thing I did want to notice, if you guys see my video, I did a video about the bent fork. And one of the symptoms of that was you couldn't ride without hands. The bike would pull to the left. You can see here, I've since replaced the fork and the bike goes straight as an arrow. So if you get your new Freedom and you're riding and you're noticing your bike is pulling to the left or pulling to the right for that matter, it could be your fork. The steer tube on the fork gets bent. So keep that in mind. Guessing we're gonna get 40 miles today. I don't know, maybe because this battery is just brand new, and I know lithium ion batteries are brand new. They have a little more capacity. So your first few rides, you're gonna have more capacity than as the battery breaks in a little bit. But so far, it seems like we're making good progress. And guys, I'm not turning this into a review because I am going to make a review on this bike at some point, but I wanted to ride it some more first. And I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised with the suspension on this bike. You know, I've ridden other bikes that have rear suspension and it feels more like an afterthought, like they just slapped it on. But this rear suspension is it's very active. Softens the ride quite a bit, and there's a good range of motion on it. So I'm pleasantly surprised with how well this rear suspension works. But guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this bike isn't perfect, and I don't want you guys to, you know, take offense to that, because let's be honest, if there was a perfect bike, there wouldn't be options. There would only be one bike to buy because it's perfect. So the 2024 Wired Freedom is not perfect, and I will explain more about these things I found wrong with it in my review video when that comes out. But you know, overall it's a really good bike, and if you have one, I'm sure you're happy with it. But guys, that's why we have to look forward to the 2025. We don't just make one bike and then live with it forever. It keeps getting better. Oh wow, what's going on up in this tree? My dog does the same thing when he sees a squirrel in the tree. Well, when you start riding around these trails, you'll start to notice, you'll see these offshoots here, and that's one of the things this bike gives you the freedom to do, pun intended. So I'll see some kids out here riding their Sur-Rons around on this little dirt trail here. But you know what, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Cool, since we're doing this video on battery capacity, GoPro did this neat little feature where the battery went from 40% to 0 and died without warning. So luckily I travel with extra batteries, but that was unexpected. Lost some footage there, some pretty epic stuff, guys. I jumped over a car. It's a shame I missed it. You know, I probably at least got 20 to 30 feet of air. But you know, for now, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Anyways, guys, back to the trail, and catch up with you in a little bit. We're at 13.6 miles now, resting voltage around 61. So we got quite a ways to go. So, and guys, making a little pit stop here, and I happen to see this nice retaining wall here. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? It's enough peer pressure. Okay, I'll do it, all right? I'll do it. Okay, here goes nothing, guys. All right, I think we can all agree that was pretty epic. You know, unfortunately, I usually have a tripod with me, but I didn't bring it with me today. So we'll have to deal with the angle that was available. There seems to be no casualties on the bike, and everything's all good. So we're gonna keep going. This part of the trail is so cool. 1 second you're riding through a subdivision, and then all of a sudden you come across this little stretch that's just completely unaffected by time. You got these old farmhouses and everything through here. Just right around the corner, you see we get back into the subdivisions here. Just regular track houses right over there. Pretty neat. One thing I did want to talk about briefly is this bike has a bell. My 2023 Cruiser does not have a bell, but it's not very menacing. You know, for a bike that can go 40 miles an hour, I want something a little more terrifying than that. You know, you need a bell that's going to tell these people, hey, look, danger is right behind you at a high speed, not this. Excuse me, guys, coming through. This is more like service, you know, waiter, or you go to a hotel lobby, that's it. Hey, but it works. Did you see it? Anyways, catch back up with you guys in a few. We're almost at 20 miles. All right, guys, we are about halfway into the ride, and at this point, I'm at the furthest distance I'm going to be away from my house, and we have exactly 20 miles on the odometer. I didn't plan it out that way, guys. It just worked out that way. So I'm going to start heading back towards my house now. A couple of major developments in the story. I am now showing 2 bars on the battery and a 59.1 voltage. I think, according to the chart, 57.6 volts is half capacity on a 60 volt system, but I don't believe this wired will let you take it all the way down. For reference, I believe my Cruiser cuts off at 50 volts, but I think somebody else said that this Freedom doesn't go down as far. But hey, we're gonna find out, aren't we? But I just wanted to point out in the background here, you see that is the John Marsh house. It's a historical landmark. John Marsh is a very prominent figure in the history of Contra Costa County. And there's all sorts of things you can learn about this man. If you type in google.com and then type in the man's name, John Marsh, and you can learn all about him. But for now, I'm gonna start heading back home. I'm gonna be doing a couple of hills on the way. And at this point, I'm going to start to worry about if I have enough battery capacity to make it all the way back. There's gonna be a slight change in plan here. And I just got back on the road heading back towards my house, and the battery gauge was just a second ago showing 1 bar. So I'm gonna be taking a more direct route than previously anticipated. Almost all these bikes, they start off really high. You think you're gonna have a ton of range, and then it just starts plummeting as you drop down into the voltage a little bit. So here's under pedaling, we're at 55.5. So yeah, I'm not gonna be taking any chances, because if you've ever pedaled one of these things with no power, it's not very fun. So more direct path, and catch up with you guys in a little bit when there's something to update. Service, please. See, there it goes. Back down to 1 bar. Panic is setting in, guys. Wish me luck. We're getting into crunch time here. About 27.5 miles on the odometer. I have about 5.5 miles to get home. And we're sitting about 53.8 volts under load. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make it home, but I don't think I'm gonna have much to spare. I've pretty much ridden this entire ride on pedal assist 3, but I've been using the throttle on and off. And now I'm using the throttle very sparingly, not really using it at all. If I remember off the top of my head, I believe I got 33.6 miles doing the range test with real world results on my Cruiser. So we are looking to get right about the same on this one. But you know, right, who would have saw that coming? I'm not feeling too bad right now, because if I do have to pedal it, it's mostly flat. We are now at 0 bars. About 53.2 volts under load, and got 28.2 miles on the odometer. So it's getting to be crunch time here, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry. My huge female audience, I'm sure. All 3 or 4 girls that watch these videos. We're now at 30 miles on the odometer. Believe it or not, we're still at 0 bars, but I've now switched down to pedal assist 2 because I'm trying to ration it a little bit. The funny thing is, sometimes if I stop pedaling for a little bit, every once in a while I'll get 1 bar will show back up just to give me a glimmer of hope. You know, just to make me think like, you know what guys, there's still good in the world. We're gonna make it, we're gonna pull through. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I go out and ride, by the time I'm almost done, I'm always like so hungry. And I start imagining like the things I'm gonna eat when I get home. Because I feel like I've earned it. Whether or not it's an e-bike or not, I've still been burning calories, right? So man, I'm just thinking when I get home, ooh, I'm gonna eat some food. You guys feel the same way when you ride? First time wall ride on the Wired Freedom. Oh yeah, no problem. You can notice the difference coming off of when I come down. It doesn't bounce around as much as it does on the Cruiser. 52.3 volts, 31.8 miles. It's kind of interesting. Some military helicopters flying through. Wonder what that's about. So I told you before, the Cruiser cuts out at 50 volts. So we're at 51 on here right now. It just dipped to 50.9, so we still got some. Looks like I'm going to be making some loops by my house for a little bit. So 33.2, like I said, I think I'm going to have to revisit the video, but I believe I got 33.6 miles of range on my Cruiser. How much range are we going to get, guys? Are you thrilled? Are you on the edge of your seat right now? Like, how far can we go, guys? Or how far can we make it? Is this like the most interesting YouTube video you've ever seen? Go ahead and just give this video a like if this is the best YouTube video you've ever seen. I have the Tannus tire inserts. I kind of want to see what the range on this thing is like without the inserts. And super controversial, and something makes me my butt hurt just thinking about, is I kind of want to do the PAS pedal assist 1 range test only. I want to do that over again, but I want to do that on an asphalt track, and I want to do it with no tire inserts. Oh man, just saying that out loud kind of hurt a little bit, but I honestly want to see what the range difference would be doing that setup. Can we hit 34, guys? We're 33.9 right now. On the lower assist levels, it draws the battery more subtle, so it's not going to make the voltage dip as hard. If I turned up the assist levels right now, I guarantee the battery would shut off immediately. But we're on 49, we're on 2, and we're pedaling consistently, drawing about 270 watts right now, and the battery is dead, guys. We have done it. So there we have it, guys. All your range questions have been answered. 34.1 miles has been achieved on the 2024 Wired Freedom. So guys, yeah, I hope you liked the video. Go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will have a review video coming up soon. I feel like I've ridden the bike enough now to give you a balanced, comprehensive review, and that will be coming up soon. I'm going to go ahead and have to charge this thing up now. And anyone know how these things work? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you on the next one. See you then.